Hey, pay attention. Here we go. So over there on the sideboard, I have that I want a drawing on a C-size sheet. So I've got all my parts here, and I'm gonna go through this really quickly with you guys, and just to show you what I'm looking for. When I make a drawing, I always want the ANSI millimeter, unless I'm, of course, in inches. In this case here, I want a C-size sheet. I know this here is a D-size sheet. How? Because it says D right there. I'm going to right-click here, edit the sheet, and then I'm going to change this to a C. If I want to go portrait at this point, I could, but I don't. I want to go landscape. There we go. That there's a C-size sheet. I'm going to hit my base view. I don't really want my big final assembly on this one. What I would like are all the parts themselves. So I'll go over to where my file is kept, and it is over here. Where's my file? DOE. Let me know when you guys see the DOE. And there, by the way, we should label our parts like the good labeling, not the bad. So there we go. Is this appropriate for a cylindrical part? Cylinders, they only need 2 views, okay? Because this and this are the exact same, so I really don't actually need that there. So I only need a 2er. That's good. And then I'll take a base view of the next part. Is that different than this one? That's the exact same thing? Okay, so clearly I don't need that one. Go back to my part. There's that bushing. Cylinders. Now, if our primary view doesn't come in good, then you just flip it to be the good view that we're looking for. Now, 5:1 is really big. Let's just go back to 1:1, and we can just adjust that. I'll click OK. Okay, so I won't bore you with all the things, but you want to put all your parts down on one sheet. And then what we could do is label them. I'll just go annotate text, and then I could type in here, that is the shaft or something. Now, if you notice here, I did it in small letters. That's not good. So what I will do is go up here to the A, to the small a, and I'll just flip it over to uppercase, click OK, and then there we go. There's our shaft. Now, when we made this part, we used some dimensions. Some of you have figured out how to do dimensions using this dimension tool. So I could just click and click. There's some dimensions. But I can also do this here. We use dimensions to make this part. So I'm going to retrieve the model dimensions. Okay, I'll click it. It says, which view do you want? It's that view there. These are all the dimensions I used to make it. Some of these diameter ones aren't really helpful to me at this point, but I'm just going to click the ones that I think are good. Maybe I'll just click kind of everything. Definitely not these. Well, I guess these guys could work too. And then hit apply. And then now I can kind of start organizing them. So in just a very few clicks, if you guys actually dimension thoughtfully when you're doing your sketches, then it pretty much throws all the dimensions on there for you. So these guys here, I don't think they're helpful. I'm just going to delete them, this guy. We never take a diameter in this kind of view. We always take a diameter in this view here. So I can throw some diameters up in here like this. By the way, this box comes up all the time. That's totally useless. It's like when a kid is not watching the lesson. So frustrating. So I would like to click this guy here, edit dimension when created. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to uncheck it. So that means the next time I take a dimension, it will not come up. Okay? We never take a dimension going straight on. That's like this guy here. Don't take a dimension straight up like that. Okay? That's just, we don't do that. You'll always go on an angle, and you kind of want to make this look good. Okay, so I've got kind of the bigger all the way down to the smaller, which means I can get rid of this guy here. And so in a very short amount of time, I can have this thing all dimensioned. Obviously, we don't want to duplicate dimensions because that's one of our rules up there. I can get rid of some of these guys here because they don't really help me, and that's 7. There you go. So in just a few clicks, I've already got all my dimensions, and there you go. I retrieved the model dimension. You want to do that for generally all of them. It doesn't take long, and just like picture day, big dimensions, big kids on the outside, small dimensions on the inside like this, okay? You don't want to do something like that because then that's just, that's a bad thing. It just looks like, it'd be like Jonah standing in front of the class. It'd be like a class of Jonah. Okay, so we put all of our parts onto that one sheet. I'd like another sheet now, so I'm going to right-click up here, and I'm going to go New Sheet. Okay, so now I've had sheet 2 right here. This guy is a C. That's good. I'm going to place my base view of my assembly. That's a good primary view for my assembly. I'll throw my views like that in there. Click OK. How do I see hidden lines? Hidden lines. What are hidden lines? I click on the base view, and I'm going to click on that button right there. Hidden line. OK. Now I can start seeing there's some stuff on there like wheel. That's great to see. I didn't know that was there. There's my base view. It's all hidden liney. Excellent. Everything looks good. Now, we'll go over to annotate, and I'm going to make a parts list. Parts list. I'll click on the primary view here. I'll click OK. I'll hit OK a whole bunch of times, and I'll drop my parts list in down here. So this parts list says the part number. If you've done it good, wheel, the other thing, last thing. These are probably bad names on our parts. So, oops. Quantity 1, 1, 1, 1. Item 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This description, generally, we don't put anything in the description thing. So I'm just going to double click on parts list. I'm going to right click on description, column chooser. I'll get rid of description, and then I'll click OK, and there we go. Now, what if I was like this knucklehead and wrote part 1? Okay, so part 1. Well, part 1 is really not part 1. It is, I don't know. Let's put it's the shaft or something. Obviously, caps lock it. There we go. Apply it and OK. Now, did you see it went blue? So that meant it's been changed. It doesn't actually change the file name, so be aware. If you did this file name properly the first time, then yes. Yeah, it'll pull in each assembly. When you pick parts list, you can say that you want all levels or first level. So you would probably like all levels, so that it wouldn't just show you the assembly, it would show you all the parts of the assembly. Okay, I broke those assemblies apart in this one here. Now, the next thing that you would do is we're going to do a balloon. Okay, I want to pick on the down arrow, auto balloon. Now, it says, which view do you want? I'll pick this view here. It says what items you want. I'll pick all items. And then the placement. Now, around usually is good. It kind of puts all your things around. Horizontal, we'll put them all in a line. And vertical, we'll do them all this way. I'm just going to click this one here, and I'll apply it. And generally, we don't leave it just like this, because generally it's not the best place. I don't know why they would have gone that close there. And again, with these guys, we never put it as a straight line. Straight lines get misinterpreted by people as part of your part. It's like, why is your part out here? Well, I just thought that leader line was part of my part. That's not really what you want. Depending on where you have your arrow, this guy is like a finger touching the item right in the middle. That's why it changes the arrow to a dot. If I go on the edge, it's kind of like a pointing over there. So either one's good. This guy is not good because I don't know why it would choose it there, but we would just come out here. And then, obviously one wasn't the shaft. It was that housing part. Now this is getting a little confusing in here. There's a lot of stuff going on. I don't really know which one it is. So maybe I would be better to put it on another view like over here. That guy's a 5er and this guy's a 6. but still it's a little bit confusing because it's just kind of tight. Okay, so what I'm going to show you is to make a detail view. I'm going to click on the viewport. It's going to be this one here, and I didn't want to click there. I want to click here, and there's my circle. I can move my A around. I'll put it here in a bad spot first to begin with. And this here is now my detail view. This guy was scale 1 to 1. This guy is scale 2 to 1. It's twice as big. It's the same thing. It's just that we're looking through like a magnifying glass. If I was really had a crazy amount of detail, I can change her up to like 4 to 1. We're doing like nanotechnology, which clearly caster wheels are. There, I can see there's that clip. There's the other thing. And then I can, throw another balloon on here. I won't go auto balloon. I'll just balloon. You is this and this guy here. If you double click, it just goes and finishes. Okay? So, this could be good for saying that you need a certain dimension or something in there. But that just shows the big blowing up view. Okay? The other thing that I will show you is place views. We're going to take a section view of this guy here. So I'm going to click on this view. I'm going to draw a line right down the middle. It's like I take a chainsaw and I cut through the thing, right-click, continue. And this here is my chainsaw view, and I have cut the thing in half. You can see how that shaft goes through the hole. Obviously, my emboss is backwards, and you can see why would the lines be different here? No, Inventor actually works really nicely. It's because this is the bushing, that's the shaft, that's the wheel. It indicates that there's different parts, okay? If we spent the time and made this the right material, if we made that rubber, there's a hatch for rubber. If this is brass, we made it brass, there's a hatch for brass. If I, as a seasoned engineer, just looked at the hatch, I'd be like, oh, that there's a brass hatch. I know exactly that that's rubber, that's brass, and that's steel. In this case, they're all default. They're all whatever the default material is, steel or something. So, it's all the same basically. They just change the angles just to indicate that there's something else going on. Okay, that looks good. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go File, New. And I'm going to go down into the very bottom here where we haven't ever gone before. And we're going to go to Standard IPT. I'm going to hit Create. It says, what is the thing that you want to make? And I want to bring up the file that I've been working on, which is somewhere in here. DOE. DL when you guys see it. It's like Dora. Oh, there it is. There. This one, and that one. That one. Okay, I'll hit open. Okay, this here is now my wheel. I'm going to tweak the components. So the very first thing I'll tweak is this thing here, and I would like it to go up. So I'm going to just grab the arrow, and then maybe I'll click OK. And then the next thing that pin comes out. So tweak component, that pin, and I'll pull the pin out. It's kind of like a Lego instruction sheet saying this is how you make your thing. Okay, the next guy here is the wheel, and if the wheel is going to come down. Oh, but wait, there's that bushing inside there, right, that we didn't get? Probably doesn't hurt if you go on a nice isometric view. So there's the thing. Now, because that bushing should have come out with the wheel, I can just expand this guy here and tweaks, and I can go back into this guy. I will edit the tweak, and I will grab that bushing here, and it goes down with it now. Okay? And then the last thing I will do is pull that guy out like this. Okay? And then, this guy here can come up as well. There you go. That's what we call an exploded view. I would save it, and then I would put that into my drawing as well. That's not a bad drawing to probably put your BOMs as part of. Okay? I think that's everything there. We got the parts list, we got the BOM, we got the assembly, and the exploded view. You would just save this, and then in your drawing here, you would put your exploded view up in here. there's a lot of information. I got the video.